United States has announced a major new trade policy that will affect several European nations starting from the first day of February. The American president has declared that a 10% tariff will be imposed on all goods exported to the United States from 8 European countries. These nations include the United Kingdom, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the Netherlands, and Finland. The announcement was made through social media, where the president outlined the new policy and its connection to a separate territorial issue involving Greenland. The tariffs will apply to any and all products that these countries send to American markets, creating a broad impact across multiple industries and sectors. What makes this announcement particularly unusual is that the tariffs are explicitly linked to negotiations over Greenland, the large Arctic territory that currently has autonomous status within the Kingdom of Denmark. According to the presidential statement, these tariffs will remain in effect until an agreement is reached for what is described as the complete and total purchase of Greenland by the United States. This creates a direct connection between trade policy and territorial ambitions, which represents an uncommon approach in modern international relations. The tariff structure is designed to increase pressure over time. While the initial rate is set at 10% beginning in February, the president has indicated that this rate will rise substantially to 25%, starting on the first day of June, if no agreement has been reached by that time. This escalating timeline appears intended to encourage rapid negotiations and create urgency among the affected nations. To understand the full impact of this policy, it is important to understand how tariffs actually work. A tariff is essentially a tax placed on goods that are imported from other countries. The tax is typically calculated as a percentage of the product's value. For instance, if a product costs $10 and a 10% tariff is applied, an additional $1 would be added as tax, bringing the total cost to $11. The important detail about tariffs is that they are paid to the government by the companies that import these foreign products into the country. These businesses then face a decision about whether to absorb these extra costs themselves or pass them along to their customers. In most cases, at least some portion of the tariff cost ends up being paid by consumers and businesses within the importing country through higher prices. This means that while tariffs are often described as penalizing foreign exporters, they can effectively function as taxes on domestic purchasers as well. The justification offered for these tariffs centers on claims about historical economic relationships between the United States and European nations. The president has stated that America has subsidized Denmark and the European Union for many years by choosing not to charge them tariffs on their exports. This framing suggests that the absence of tariffs in the past represented a form of financial support or subsidy flowing from America to Europe. The presidential statement declares that after centuries of this arrangement, it is now time for Denmark to give back, positioning the new tariffs as a form of correction or rebalancing rather than a new burden. Beyond economics, the announcement ties these trade measures to broader security concerns. The president has made dramatic claims about the strategic importance of Greenland, stating that world peace is at stake in determining the territory's future. The statement asserts that China wants control of Greenland and that Denmark is incapable of preventing Chinese expansion into the region. The characterization of Danish defenses in Greenland as consisting of only 2 dog sleds represents a dismissive view of Denmark's actual military capabilities and the broader NATO security framework that covers the Arctic region. These comments reflect genuine strategic concerns about the Arctic, which has become an area of increased competition among major powers as climate change makes the region more accessible and its resources more exploitable. The president has also expressed concern about activities in Greenland by multiple European nations. The statement claims that Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and Finland have all travelled to Greenland for purposes unknown and are playing a very dangerous game. This characterization suggests suspicion about normal diplomatic, scientific, and economic relationships that these countries maintain with Greenland. The statement calls for strong measures to end what is described as a potentially perilous situation quickly and without question. For the United Kingdom in particular, this tariff announcement presents significant diplomatic challenges. British officials have been attempting to maintain a careful balance in their relationship with the American administration. They have avoided publicly criticizing controversial American foreign policy positions while still maintaining Britain's own principles on international issues. Regarding Greenland specifically, the United Kingdom has stated that it believes the territory's future should be decided by the people of Greenland and Denmark, not determined by external pressure. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer had worked to build a positive personal relationship with the American president, and officials had hoped this connection would help protect British interests through the special relationship that has historically existed between the two nations. However, the imposition of these tariffs suggests that this diplomatic strategy may not have provided the protection that was anticipated. If the tariffs are actually implemented as announced, they would represent a significant setback for the British government's approach. Political observers suggest that urgent discussions are likely taking place in London and other European capitals to determine whether these tariffs might be avoided through diplomatic negotiations or other arrangements.